You are
Whoa, that took me aback right there. So,
right. You know, they play that at the Walmart in Hesperia. Do you guys ever notice that? You ever go in there?
No.
Whenever they're
I do, but I've never noticed that.
It's the Star Tours. You can hear it outside.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
I'm just have to go in there and just kind of do a rotating.
I smile every time I go in there with Jess. It's because that's her Walmart. This one's mine over in Victorville, we say, right?
You claim Walmart's?
Yeah. You go over there and you hear, and I'm like, oh, I love yours.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Welcome aboard.
Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 311, being recorded on June 11th, 2025. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
Grand Admiral Franz. Do this. No.
Hi.
Other one.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
Nice. Bootleg Joe, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's very echoey, like you're underwater, but I mean,
but you're here.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
All right.
Just smile and nod. Well, before we get into it, because I see our pit and I see everybody in there. They're ready to go.
Are they really in there, or were they in there at like 11 o'clock? And
well, there's some that are. We have to kind of sift through a lot of chat.
A lot of Hell Runner base. Yeah,
who's in there live right now. But before we get into all that good stuff and shouting them out, Scott, our Shadow Council is waiting patiently.
Yes, they are. Hello, welcome back, everybody. So glad to have you here. We're glad that Joey's back with us. As you saw in the intro, we've removed the missing from him. Joey has been found.
Damaged.
I will tell you,
but found.
He's damaged, but he's found. Exactly.
You know what?
I
We
will
didn't
tell you-
put the missing out for so long, and as soon as you did, he's back.
Yeah.
We should have done
Yeah,
that
I
a
know.
year ago.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
But
Damn.
just so we're all prepared, know that I haven't deleted that layer on the intro. I've just turned it off for the moment.
Postponed it.
Postponed it. But a special shout out to our amazing Shadow Council. Without you, this podcast would not be doable. And that is AJ from the Forbidden Panel, Brandon and Anya Epler, Brian C, Cliff, Commander Bly, Commander Cook, Crystal E, Don the Dad Dorn, Eric Grubb, Flavy Davy, Gavin Connor from the Holy Hour All Cure podcast, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine Balanos, Matt Logic, Muftak is back, Nicholas Schaefer, Obi Sean Kenobi, and our buddy, our pal, who we got to see on Sunday, Mr. Senior Dr. Rhino Hobbies, Esquire, the fourth. I don't know. I'm just making things up.
It's always a pleasure.
It is always a pleasure to hang out with Rhino Hobbies. And have you guys seen his photography? It's awesome stuff. But if you want to join the Patreon crew, if you want to join the Shadow Council, just type in patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest podcast and donate $1 or $2. Like I said, it all goes back into the production of this podcast. And trust us, we need all the help we can get.
We got to rebuild Joey. That's what Rhino says.
We have
so
to rebuild Joey.
Yeah.
But
I'm good at rebuilding, so I mean, I could do it. I could do this.
He
I know
can
it's-
3D print
right now.
Yeah.
He can 3D print a brand new bootleg Joe.
Yeah,
And nobody would ever be the wiser.
but,
It would take 16 years for him to do it. He's still got
Hey man,
R2 going
but it's
for 8.
still.
Makes
Well,
me
the
about
S-
50 pounds lighter.
You don't even
SDC
own the printer you started on.
No.
But on top of all of that great nonsense, we've also got Stu John Jedi in there. What's up, Stu John?
Yes, sir.
Commander Bly. And I'm going to hit this next one right here, and then I've got to scroll down
Yeah,
for
get that
about
wheel
10
going.
minutes. Yeah. So Mr. Hellrunner Base is in
Hellrunner.
there. And then, wait, Joey. There's
Joey's in
Joey. He's in there. So if he can't talk to us, he can at least type, and we can, we can say hi through there.
Yeah.
More Hellrunner, more Stu John. Let's see. Then we've got Adam S. Adam is back. What is up, Adam? Basil G is in there. Hey, Basil. Don the Dad Dorn is hanging out with us. Rhino Hobbies is in there. Let's see. We've also got Renoas.
Another
All right,
Rhino.
welcome,
Rhino
Rhinos.
AZ22. I don't know.
Maybe
Rhino,
maybe.
Arizona. That's where I'm going with. It's like a license plate guessing game.
Exactly.
It is.
exactly.
It is. Yeah. It's one of Rhino Hobbies' acolytes or something right there.
It's
I
Rhino's ass.
guess. Rhino's ass. We've got Meeks in there. The way to
Some
alienate two people, man. We've got Meeks in there. Who else have we got? We've got keep on scrolling because these are some chatty people right now. We got Dr. Brantley. Finally got to meet
What's
Dr.
up?
Brantley in person too. That was pretty awesome. What's up, Dr. Brantley? We've got Gavin Connor in there. What is up, Gavin? And Commander Bly asking the eternal question: Why is
Ernie?
right?
Why, how, where, when? We don't know.
Yeah.
We have no answers on Ernie anymore.
We got Stanto
Stanto.
14, and of course, our buddy, our pal, Matt Logic. So drop us a line, say hello, get a shout out. That's how this works.
Yep. And our fifth member, Ernie the Fallen Fett, should be joining us momentarily. Hence the why is Ernie. We ask that question all the time. Why is Ernie popping in late? Like
These
fill in the
damn
blanks.
500 subs.
He just got to fill in the blanks all the time. He won't even know what we're talking about. But
He'll never know.
yeah, especially tonight. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, Adam S. Let me ask you this one question: when is Ernie? Yeah,
836.
Yeah.
Oh, are we taking bets now? Okay.
The over-under is 836. What you
There's
got?
our next giveaway, right?
No shit. We should start
That-
doing that weekly.
Oh, that'd be
Secretly-
fun.
All right, listen, guys. Before he pops in, everybody in the pit, we're gonna try to do a secret. So again, Discord is important because I might put this in the Discord. We're gonna take silent bets when Ernie pops in. We're gonna notate the time, so You can start guessing. We'll do this starting next week, right? So we'll get everybody kind of
yeah.
situated or whatever. But we're gonna start guessing, and then people who nail that minute will get an entry to our next giveaway. So
We're putting people
Bernie's not
money
gonna
down.
know.
Is there
Let's
money
do it.
involved in this pool?
Yeah, and you can't go to a show and start trying to stall it either.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
right.
I don't understand.
yeah,
That's
right.
right.
Try to stall it. That's funny.
That's right, bro.
Well, guys, of course, you've seen the thumbnail, and every so often, things get kind of like bypass us a little bit, especially in the novel area, novel and comics, right?
Lately.
Because they've been so. And
Blah?
Star Wars is not hitting it hard in the comic section or the novels. I mean, they're stuck on the High Republic. Okay, they're doing their thing. They're
Almost done.
finalizing. Yeah, they're finalizing that bubble.
Yeah,
Which
next
honestly, yeah,
I have it.
Yeah.
I gotta read it.
I kind of do want to go in there just to see what's kind of like encompass the whole storyline to see where that's going, right? But okay, I know why this kind of like flew over our radar, and Joey brought this to our attention today or yesterday. But there are 2 children's books. Okay, these are children's books. One is called Code of the Jedi, and one's called Code of the Sith. Both came out in 2021, around that area. It's where it was copyrighted. So, it's been under our radar for the longest time. Children's books, we're not going to read. We don't think it's canon, right? Like, I mean, come on. I mean, we always want the novels, right? Sometimes the junior novels hit. Sometimes the novels really do hit. But
the visual dictionaries we love.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I'm going to add this, and I'm going to put up the screen as soon as I can find it. Scott, if
The
there it is.
screenshot.
I got it.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Now, this is a children's book?
This is a children's book, and I'm gonna. Okay. It's a children's book. That's why it flew over radar.
Per se.
I'm putting this into mandatory reading. I read it cover to cover. Joey like I said, Joey's the one who brought this to our attention. He gave us some screenshots, and I was reading. I'm going like, it's confirming a lot of stuff that we talk about here as like theory crafting, right? Like, oh, okay, this happened. We can kind of headcanon why Snoke, why the Emperor, why Sith in general. But this book confirms almost everything that we have. I mean, there's still a few questions, but almost everything that we've talked about. So I'm putting it, and I'm waiting to get to the Code of the Jedi so I can see where that lies.
Is it Code or Secrets? Because you keep saying Code.
Secrets.
Code's
It's
a different
Secrets.
book.
Oh, sorry, Secrets of the Sith. So I
Code's
have
the little set that aren't.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
No. Those are old.
That's the
books.
bounty hunter code.
Yeah.
The
I'm sorry
Imperial
about that.
Handbook and all that shit.
I apologize. But Secrets of the Sith, and this is a secret. It's a children's, and there are some pop-ups. This is pop-up.
It's a
stuff.
pop-up book.
I mean, not all of it, but there's like a section where a holocron pops up, and there's.
They have adult pop-up books.
I love it, but here's the thing: it's dark. This book is being narrated as like
Sidious.
the echoes
Yes.
of Star Sidious. I mean, even like he recognized he's dead. You know what I mean? And he's saying everything from the first sentence to the last sentence is his journey and the Sith journey itself, right? He because that's how it reads. He describes everything from Sith relics, Sith Eternal, Kylo Ren, the Skywalker's rise and fall, the Chosen One prophecy, Quinlan Vos, Dark Disciple. It goes through all of these things, and I'm reading it going like, this is too good, man. It's too good. Like I was like, cool. It's visually awesome. It's read really. It's got big words, as far as like type wise, so I can understand it.
Big typography, small words.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good for him. Yeah.
What I like about it is on some parts they give you like little leaflets
Yeah,
that are supposed to be like them warning you about what's how the Empire is taking over. So it starts off by decree of the Galactic Senate, emergency powers have been granted the chance of Palpatine. It goes on. It's like, dang, they actually put like flyers like warning you.
It's
That's
very, very well put together book, right? So yeah, Rhino Hobbies. Who knew Sheep was good with the kids?
He had a little island and everything.
Not that.
Wow.
Not that. Yeah.
Exegol, the far side of Exegol.
Yikes.
Palpatine didn't kill himself.
The Palpatine files.
Yeah, the Palpatine file.
Open the Palpatine.
Wow. Hashtag Palpatine didn't kill himself. So I mean, okay, so like, you know, a lot of these things, you know, where we have them in our Jedi archives, we have these little things, you know, they're just kind of like, well, things that are already kind of like tidbits and we know about. It's just to get someone like kind of knowledgeable about certain things, right? But like I said, this is going to be my go-to now when we start talking in our theory crafting, where like, you know, Ochi, even it goes into Palpatine's clones and Rey and Jakku. I mean, it really covers everything. And I want to put this to you guys, saying like, you know, if we had this in 2015, you know, where say Disney took over and then they put this book out, I know this is an afterthought and is one of those books that was kind of like, you know, we're going to write this to tie it in, but I think
because they kind of messed with the sequels, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of had to put a book out, right?
Yeah, because you guys know how I feel about the sequels. Like, you know where I
sounds like you're liking them a little bit better now.
This book puts it all into perspective, but
holy fudge.
Yeah. But I will say it does change the Skywalker saga in a thing where it's not Skywalker focused, it's Palpatine focused. It's, you know,
right. Wasn't that
you know what I mean?
kind of one of the issues that we had with the sequel trilogy, though, is that with that it almost became like the prequels, the original trilogy, and the sequels together almost form more of the tale of Palpatine rather than Skywalker's
100%
saga.
Yeah. And this book confirms that. Because, I mean, it goes down to when he's dying, to his contingency plan to Exegol, where he already had the Sith Eternal on Exegol already doing this. Everything was in place. And where the original trilogy and the prequels, when we watch it, it's just it's Anakin's story, but it's really
It could be Palpatine's story from the Skywalker point of view, perhaps, because they're running alongside Palpatine's story.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's read as a Palpatine's.
Does it touch Plagueis, the piece where Palpatine creates Anakin? Does it touch it?
No. It does have the Chosen One and the prophecies of,
but nothing about manipulating midichlorians. That kind of nonsense.
No. It does go into his mass, Plagueis, and what power that he's kind of like learned, and he took it from and stuff like that. But no. There's so that question, and also Kylo Ren of the Knights of Ren stuff. Like there's excerpts in there with Kylo Ren becoming a Knight of Ren and how we became, but not why.
Right.
And that's where I was like, okay, there's still a little, because it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Why is Kylo?
So I did, because I was looking for the same thing. I'm like, okay, so if we can tie this together and show that Palpatine did actually, help Anakin come to life by, if there's a way to tie all that in, then I mean, Palpatine essentially Anakin would have been a Palpatine too, in sort of a way, right? Because
in a way,
manipulated the midichlorians.
Yeah.
So, but I was looking for that thread too. Ooh, the thread. There we go. Talking.
Yeah.
Why are you doing
that? But
now that's gross. Ew.
I know. Sorry, man. But it wasn't there, of course.
No.
So
that again, it may be in that's something again, or
that's the piece they're waiting to bring back in, right? You don't get that until we bring the Plagueis book in or revamp it.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah,
it also didn't talk about how they killed Palpatine or how Palpatine killed Plagueis either. Just said he struck him down, so it can still be manipulated. Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. Commander Bly, it couldn't have existed because they hadn't butchered the story. Yeah, I mean, well, like I said,
didn't have anything to fix.
Didn't have anything to fix. That's it. But if they did like this, could still be adapted in ways, because it's if it really took that 30-year gap in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, they still could adapt this very dark secrets out there using this, what we've read in here, and it still can happen. And honestly, besides all the other cringy stuff the sequels have, it can fix the somehow. It could fix the somehow Palpatine return. It can fix that whole thing.
Could you see this book, and you and Joey have gone through it, right? I haven't gone through it yet. Scott, have you gone through it yet?
I've gone through most of it, not all of it.
Could you see it becoming not so much a Tales of the Sith, but call it Secrets of the Sith and doing a little mini series, like story by story? Would it play like that with Palpatine kind of narrating it? You seeing the story going along on each of these chapters? I haven't seen it, so
yeah.
Some manipulation,
100%. Because we all talk about the end of Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader throwing Palpatine out in the blue mist, right? Yep. Well, the way this is structured, I mean, they don't deliberately come out and say it, but he does say essence transfer, and he does say exiled on Exegol, and all these things, and whisked away, and his body was damaged, but my soul was preserved, right? We have that in our head canon. We have that in our mind that mist was blown out of the second Death Star and went off to Exegol to reform. And
did he say essence transfer?
Yeah.
That's very Bane story. That's where that came from, right? I don't remember any other essence transfer other than Bane.
Right.
He talks about Bane too. He does talk about Bane,
the rule of two and all that.
Mm-hmm. Rule of two.
Neat.
And how
does that relate?
There was an army of Sith, and
he kind of goes into the history of the Sith, and like a millennia ago, how they were in power and how they destroyed themselves, and Rule of Two. Again, it's like I said, for being a kid's book and touted as a kid's book, it's like for our reading. It's like mandatory reading for us, dude.
I have trouble with that because most of them I don't see as like I like the Hondo, and that's a kid's book, dude. That's like a Berenstain Bears book, right? That's like a little thin deal.
On the back of the book it says "Insight Kids." So
I'm telling you, dude. Like, this is why we didn't. Wild. It wasn't on our radar.
But you know what?
Man.
Star Wars was made for kids, so they all should be for kids.
Very true. What did I say this weekend, Scott? I said, we're still 12 years old. We just hurt a little bit more.
Our knees hurt. We have, we have aches and pains.
I mean, like nothing changed in that aspect.
We have health problems. We had all sorts of issues and bills, but hey,
going through a lot of stuff being 12 years old. Stu John, Disney could totally rehabilitate the sequel trilogy with a couple of critical soft retcons and one good story. Now, here's the thing about that, like retcons, we don't even have to. It's all here.
Yeah.
Mando, Grogu, and Ahsoka could put this in perspective. It really could.
Oh, exactly.
And so,
you can't do it from a book because most people, 98% of people will not know that. You have to put it on screen somewhere.
And Bad Batch, Mandalorian have already started that with the Snoke stuff, the cloning.
And the Shadow Council, and
yes, it's all in here. And I'm sitting there. That's why I was like, oh my god, this is. I don't know, man. Like I know I'm overly excited with it, but it's good. It's like it
really that's a good host of a show when we have no news. You go and get uber excited about a 4-year-old book.
Yes. because it, like I said, we could sit here and we could theory craft and it all makes sense to us, right? But we know that's back burner talk because it has to be a canon, it has to be official, right? It's not official till it's official. And when I started reading this, I'm going like, oh my god, check mark. These are things we've talked about and we've already put this in our head canon, but we're always speculating. Now it's like, okay, like perfect example in the book, Snoke is 100% described, his role, everything is in here. Snoke, there's no mystery anymore. Snoke was a clone body created to hold the essence of the Emperor, and because of his unlimited power, he couldn't hold a clone body. It was always damaging it, right? Snoke was,
but it had an innate force sensitivity to it.
Snoke clone did, yes.
This Snoke clone did, yeah.
So where did Snoke come from originally? What was Snoke a clone of?
It's just manufactured
failed
bodies.
Emperor clone. Yeah.
So Snoke is the Emperor failed clone.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's the Emperor basically.
Yes. All the Snokes in those tanks were engineered bodies to hold. That's probably why.
So when Snoke died, it wasn't the Emperor through the Force controlling him. That was the Emperor, and his essence went back to another clone.
No.
Well, that'd have been cooler.
It would have been. But no, he was a failed Emperor clone, but since he had this innate Force ability and could wield the Force, he just let him go and manipulated him from behind the scenes. Like,
so he used him as a puppet,
he was a puppet
type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we said about I was in your ear the whole time with Kylo and manipulate, it was 100% correct. It's just now that we know that Snoke wasn't a person before, now it's like, but it was damaged beyond all damage because he couldn't sustain
That makes total sense, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you.
How we missed that for 4 years?
I don't know.
What's wrong with us? We've been guessing that and saying that and like knowing that. Joey comes out with a freaking 4-year-old kid's book, and we're like,
Joey comes out, from being held captive and with a book like this. Arthur Henderson.
I mean, the reason why I got it, like I said, there's a guy at work that very like he's brand new into Star Wars, and he's infatuated, not infatuated, but he's like more wanting to know what is the Sith, what is the dark side.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, I see this book on a YouTube, being talked about on the YouTube channel, and that's why I asked you guys about it. If you guys heard about it, and so I just went out and bought it. I was like, it's $8. I'm gonna go out and get it. And
well, you paid I paid $27.99 Amazon.
So did I.
Yeah, because I wanted it.
They had a $17 used one, but I didn't want to risk the dust.
No, I want hardback, right? Like our archives, right? So
yeah.
Arthur Henderson's checking in, and Gordon Scalzi's checking in.
Hey, Gordon.
Hey.
Yes. Sir.
So just so we are all clear here, yes, this book does exist, but the same author also has Secrets of the Clone Troopers, Secrets of the Jedi, and Secrets of the Bounty Hunters.
I'm getting them all.
This is a line of children's books that, if this one is any indication, he's probably going to fix Book of Boba Fett in here.
I mean, nothing to fix.
Yeah,
I know, right? Honestly, it says from Hondo Onaka to Daimyo Boba Fett. It's all here. So,
what a nice, like I said, if it's any indication of the information that's in this book here, then
it's so funny because I was totally aware of the Secrets of the Sith and the Secrets of the Jedi. I just never went for it because I just assumed it was shit we already knew from the visual dictionaries and the things.
What can they tell us?
Stuff we watch and the videos we go into and the website and the Wiki. What the hell? Where did this secret book come from?
That's what I'm saying. It even explained the dyad. Okay, now look, you guys know the dyad was poop, but it even explains that on the pyramids of Exegol. Let's see. What's up, Ernie the Fallen Fett?
Oh, I was 7. Yeah. Nice.
Did you miss it? You want me to come back? Dave.
Come back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to run to the restroom real quick. I'll be back. Just so you
take it too.
No worries.
Yeah.
But Ernie, real fast.
Go ahead.
This book right here, Secrets of the Sith. It's a kid's book. And
he's gonna be like, I read that years ago.
Yeah, it's mandatory. Mandatory reading, Secrets of the Sith, and we'll you have to probably watch the replay a little bit to kind of catch up.
Can I get the library card on it?
Yeah, I wish, dude. I wish.
Oh, okay.
Right. But we also got Dead Man Wand. Hey, what's up? Checking in. So I was trying to explain how this was tying in the sequel stuff and making it work. Not better, just making it work with all those, those somehows and what ifs. On Exegol, on the pyramids of Exegol, etched into the hieroglyphics was the prophecy of a dyad, just like the Jedis had the prophecy of the chosen one, of someone who was going to bring balance to the Force. Palpatine even mentioned the chosen one as that prophecy, saying like the Jedi have this whatever religious, thing that they believe in, but his was the Sith version was the dyad. And so I know that like in Rise of Skywalker, it was this happenstance. It was just kind of like, oh my God, these two are here, right? But it was actually
Jedi prophecy and a Sith prophecy.
Kind of, right.
That's so much cooler.
Yeah.
I hate everything that happened in the sequels now, just because they could have done this.
That's what I'm saying. This is all written after the fact, but then but
that's how we're okay with that because that's how most of Star Wars stuff is, right? I mean, like even Clone Wars was after the fact.
Dude, as much as I hate it, it still happened. It's still
and it makes
there.
it happy when they start cleaning it up, bro.
Start to clean it up. Yes, 100%. And I'm okay with that. Now, especially because again, we still have the 33 years gap in between Return and Force Awakens, right? Where we have the Mandoverse and all those things. This all it's because most of it takes place within that thing when the Emperor's essence went to Exegol and the rebuilding of the First Order, the Sith Eternal, Ochi, Rey, the Battle of Jakku, the contingency plan. It's all there. I just wish it was starting to come into live action in ways
It's weird though. So now I'm back on this Snoke clone of Palpatine.
Yeah.
The size is crazy because he's way bigger, right?
But
But they all are, because there's
Right.
not just one Snoke clone. That's my problem. Because there's some in Mandoverse,
Right. And Bad
and we
Batch.
see him in Tross. We see him
Yes.
in Rise, right?
Yes.
So that's a 20-year gap, and we're still cloning Snokes.
Yeah,
We're
because
still
I
failing
think,
cloning Snokes.
yeah, because
That's-
I mean, yeah,
There's no explanation for it.
there's
That's
no,
iffy.
and that's where it's like, where the movies are just so jumbled. It's like they threw everything to
Yeah.
the wall. They threw everything to the wall and made everything stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
They didn't even,
I would
try.
accept the Snoke more if I didn't keep seeing him.
Yeah. No, the book, it kind of explains the process of cloning and holding the essence of Palpatine. You know what I mean? And it just it can't be stable. That's probably why he's big, because let's make, something where it can sustain this power that he obtained. I mean, it makes Palpatine amazing. It really does. Like, I mean, even more so.
It is cool, but now I got more things now.
Yeah.
So Rey's dad, is it a Palpatine clone?
Yes.
Or is he Snoke?
Yes.
No, it's a Palpatine.
No, it's a
So he looks like Palpatine.
Yes.
And they still have Snoke-looking clones in Exegol.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
by that time, I believe the story is that they had, if I read it correctly, they had perfected the cloning process, but not the reproduction of Jedi midichlorians.
Because Rey's dad was
powers.
not force sensitive. It was just
He was a perfect clone, but he
Perfect
wasn't
clone.
force sensitive.
Yeah.
It was
So the
Palpatine.
Force-sensitive ones look like Snoke.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
midichlorians and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Screwed up his
Muggles
look.
look like Palpatine.
The Muggles look like
which probably drive him nuts. He's all these weak-looking or these
Yeah.
weak Sith, and they're all like me.
I have to read it again, but there was some kind of like disdain for Rey's
So
dad.
Rey's
Yeah.
Rey's dad looked like Palpatine.
Yeah.
Yeah. His name is
It's
Dathan, sir. His
Dathan?
Dathan.
I remember.
You
shit.
even have a fake name like Dathan?
Oh, that was in a book somewhere too. That was in
It
Rise
was.
of Skywalker, I think, right? Something like that.
No,
Okay, novelization.
no. It was
Wasn't
in
there
It was the one with Ochi and Lando and
Oh,
Luke.
the
It
Lando
was that
one.
the Lando book. Yeah.
Yeah, gosh.
Wasn't there behind the scenes where we saw him though?
No.
I mean, like a cutout? No.
Oh,
I
of the
don't-
dad?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think
Oh
so.
wait,
We-
I think
dropped
we did
Ochi.
see. We
Didn't we
saw
see
him
him?
in
They
Rise of
dropped
Skywalker.
Don't
When
they
they-
show him in Rise of Skywalker?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
when
they're
they
both
dropped
getting
it off.
knifed by
Yeah, they
Ochi.
do.
So that was just young Palpatine then there. We just never
Yeah,
seen him
young
really
Palpatine
young.
clone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which again begs the question why Snoke looks like a full ass adult in the clone chamber. I'm not gonna.
No,
I
it's
can't.
serious.
I'm gonna overthink this one because they're trying to fix it. I gotta let them
They're
fix
trying to fit. Yeah. That's it.
it. Yeah.
And just like what Commander Bly's saying here, is everything in that book was planned out beforehand. The movies were released. That would have been something.
That
It
would've
would have
been
been, like I said,
Yeah.
there, minus the other gripes that I have with the sequel trilogy. But one of my major one was the negating Anakin's role throughout history, like kind of erasing it and just kind of like bringing back Palpatine back just to kill him, where Anakin already did that, and it was like this big thing that's leading up to it, and again, what this book does, though, it does push that more to the side again, and it makes it about his story. And you know what I mean? This is the rise and fall of Palpatine, not Anakin Skywalker.
Mhm.
And that's Star Wars in the Disney era.
Yeah,
That's
Hal
where
Reiner's last comment when he gets a chance.
What's that? Who's?
He just killed it again. Gideon can pull it off, and Palpatine 20 years later is still having problems.
Did
Okay.
Gideon pull it off, or did
He had
Gideon
a-
just? I know he had that. And he had a whole lot of him, but were they force sensitive, or I don't remember.
See,
Were
that's
they
where I'm
force
gonna
sensitive, or were they
exactly.
just-
I'm gonna we have to revisit that because I don't know if
Yeah.
they were force sensitive. I know cloning
He
in the
implied it was.
Super
I don't know
Trooper
if we
kind
saw
of
it.
deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Super Trooper, but I don't know about force sensitive.
I
And
can
maybe
get
that's
the
what he was working
comment.
for.
But my thing to that is how like you could sell it, Chris, is
Yeah.
right. If he was just working for him, they had all these people working for him to try and perfect it, and he did it. Do you really want to give that to the boss and not do it yourself first?
Well, that's
Yeah.
why. Yeah.
Perhaps.
You know
And
what I'm saying? Like, oh, we did it. Kill
Good night,
everybody.
Bly.
else to tell him.
See ya, Bly. Thank
no,
you, man.
That's good. And but you know what? Adam S. There's point that just got brought up about the Grogu blood.
Yeah.
That's the key to Grogu's the key to everything, right? And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably the once they lose Grogu and can't get him, that kills it. So Gideon was able to probably do it, even if it was force sensitive or not. Perfect clones,
Mm,
and that's the piece missing from Palpatine. Because
Okay.
Grogu eventually
Just
got
because
it
they don't have him. Yeah.
the
right,
sample.
right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm down. talk myself off a cliff every time.
See,
Let's do this.
all of it just sucks because there's the old adage whenever it comes to storytelling of show don't tell, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's the problem we have with this is now they're going back and they're fixing it slowly, as you can see through the Mandoverse, right? But at the same time, we're getting these books that are telling us what happened. It's like if you would have just shown us this or some sort of, again, it all goes back to the point that they did not have a plan, right?
Oh,
No, George Lucas didn't have a plan either whenever he was making the original trilogy. He overplanned the sequel or the prequel trilogy. He didn't have a plan for the original trilogy, but these people that wrote these also didn't have his mind, right? They didn't have his storytelling prowess, and that's where the problem.
Well, exactly. Like I like I said, if I was ever in that beginning in 2015 or whatever when Disney bought 2013 or something, and they came with the story group and said, "Hey guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring back Palpatine." I would have said, "Time out. Now we got a conflict," and all the reasons why I would explain about Anakin, right? The story of it, and then I would go on to explain like Return of the Jedi should be it, and they live happily ever after.
Yeah.
Go back. Yeah, you have 35,000.
post-return.
You have 35,000 years to lead up to Return of the Jedi that
Yeah.
you could have explored first and more. I mean, the thing is, after Return of the Jedi, you are on rinse and repeat. How else would they do things? That's why you got to have an ending and then go way back. Like I said, you have 35,000 years to explore leading up to Return. That's would have been my suggestion,
Even the original Legends, right? The original follow-up with Dark Empire, we saw the return of Palpatine, right? So I can't get too pissed off about them bringing him back just to kill him again because they did it in the old comics and everybody ate it up like it was, like it was ice cream and chocolates, right?
That's right.
But it was also done far better than what we got as an afterthought, right? Because Palpatine's return seriously was an afterthought. It was an overcorrection. It was not part of the plan.
Yeah.
So I feel like if they would have just stayed on again, we've harped over this over and over and over again, right? If they would have just stayed the course, and
if they would have recognized that there was source material, then I think it would have been a different conversation.
So is that good that they keep writing these stories and filling in holes because then it gives somebody else better source material to work off of, so they don't have to keep kind of guessing off this stuff and there's already a story in place?
They have to now, Chris. They have to because again, they have to make these kind of books now to really kind of like put those. And like I said, if it starts to change the overall what we've kind of like grew up what we loved about Star Wars, if it changes, it changes. I mean, like I said. Anything past that, you're going to change it. Even the EU changed the Return of the Jedi stuff, right? But then you have like this, you have the main timeline, you have these skewed timelines, whatever, where a very small percentage of viewers would go there, in a sense. So this, in this era that we're in now, I'm glad that this is here versus not having it because I was really, It didn't save the sequels for me, but now it's starting to change the way I'm thinking about Palpatine.
The fact that you said the sequels without like spitting or giving a grimace when you say the word sequels.
I have one of those medieval torture devices where I twist on my leg every time, so it like the pain kind of.
Oh,
nice. But you can. There's a marked difference in your talk.
There is
right
and
now
I gotta tell you that I gotta tell you something though. I'm in some conflict with this. I really am. I spent today in this fog of like,
I like them?
Well, no, it's not a matter of like, it's a matter of being okay.
Am I a fan?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, it's not, it's like, not like, oh my God.
It's
I'm
acceptance.
I've always said this,
done.
even when Rise Skywalker came out, and I was like, they need to, don't worry that this one will wrap it up and it'll explain everything. And then they just raise more questions. And I was like, okay, well, if our kind of mission statement was, we are reporting on history, then I have to live by that. Right. And so it is in our talks. So something like this that bridges those gaps. Okay. I'm better with it to bridge those gaps so I can talk about the sequels. Because now, like I said, if Palpatine makes sense to me, the sequels are better in that sense. There's still a lot of stuff that I can't get my head around, and it has the Republic, Luke, in a sense, Han, Leia's roles like that. Like just not, I can't.
And I'm okay with those. I said Leia, you have to be able to explain because Leia, Carrie Fisher passed.
I know.
So move past that one,
yeah.
right? Han makes sense because it's Kylo's turn. Luke makes sense because Obi-Wan died and it was time for Luke to die. They're old. Had they remember we had that conversation Scott brought up on Facebook, right? Scott Winters, and it was like, oh shit, what was the conversation? How'd it go?
Well, it was the Disney killing off the characters of the
Hamill. Hamill says George Lucas never would have done that. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Mark Hamill needs to shut up at this point because Mark Hamill had in that same interview, I think, says, I haven't watched these movies since they came out. At that point, you're no longer the expert on the character. Right. You won't know shit about it. You came back into the movies, had one scene in Force Awakens and died in Last Jedi. Shut up, Mark. You're just trying to stay relevant, right? I very much separated the characters from the actors now too, by the way. Mark's been doing that for years. Just don't say George Lucas wouldn't do that, dude. You're old. Had they done like right now the Mandoverse, you wouldn't kill him in that time frame. It's 10 years after, 7 years after. Use Luke, right? Now we're in this time frame. But since the fact that we went up 30 years makes it where you had to kill the people. You had to. You can't carry on with the old folks. You could have carried on with Leia, and they probably would have.
Yeah. The plan probably wasn't to
let Leia lead it like Mon Mothma is, right? Let Leia take over the New Republic. Yeah. Totally cool. She's lost everything now. Maybe her son. Anything could have happened there. But
I'm okay with Luke's arc. I'm okay with Luke's arc in Force Awakens and Last Jedi. What his role was in Rise of Skywalker was like
goofy. Every role in Rise of Skywalker.
It was just goofy and whatever. Because I'm okay with that sacrifice he did in Last Jedi.
100%.
I'm more bothered about Han Solo's death and him being his son being Kylo Ren. I just Ben Solo and I just and why he's a Knight of Ren. Why not a Sith? Like why not all these things? Why? You know what I mean? There's still this. I haven't read the Knights of Ren comic book, and I think that's what this book kind of referenced. That he kills it just says he kills the head of the Knight of Ren to become.
Does it kind of talk about why Knight of Ren versus Sith? And I think I know the answer. Actually,
they say what they are. They are not Sith. They are just hateful warriors that use
because
they're dark warriors.
Yeah, dark warriors. Yeah,
that use blunt force instead of lightsabers,
which makes sense with their weapons besides the Ren,
right?
So
but like Palpatine really makes it like these are not Sith. Like
he also made a point, specifically of Kylo Ren, that Kylo Ren had not achieved that role. He was a good Sith. Dark warrior, but he was not a Sith.
Right.
So,
cool.
Yeah. The thing. So I agree. I think that there's a lot of stuff that. It's like Rise of Skywalker just kind of falls apart, right? I mean, especially with Mark Hamill with
flashy kind of movie that had no substance.
It doesn't. That's what I was about to say. It's very thin. There's no substance to it at all. I mean, they weren't even willing to commit enough, right? Whenever you see Luke and he catches the lightsaber in flight, he catches it with his left hand, right? And he keeps his right hand away because they knew that the fandom couldn't handle if he had a robot hand or a real hand.
Don't even bring it up. Don't even deal with it.
We're not even going to deal with it. We're just going to stick it here in the cloak. No. Nobody will be the wiser. And I'm sitting there going.
And then his whole dialogue to Rey after that was just like.
Because we didn't hear his hand hit when he disappeared. That's the whole deal.
Right. But it's his role, his lines in Rise of Skywalker. Right. His roles in Rise of Skywalker, along with Palpatine's role in the Rise of Skywalker, every single line they had was a cliche.
Yes.
It wasn't, there was nothing of any substance there either, right? It was all, Ian McDermott is an amazing actor. He can emote, he can project, he sounds evil and all that. He looked incredible, but there was nothing behind those words, right?
That's why we were all sitting there going like, wait till Rise of Skywalker. It's going to fix. And then
Mark was playing Mark.
Yes.
He wasn't Luke in Rise of Skywalker.
He was Luke in Last Jedi.
I mean, he was.
Not that very beginning, dude. But
yeah, besides the toss,
the
rest of it, even being upset about, the way everything fell, he's human. I like that arc. I really like that arc.
Yeah.
But he was great. I loved his death. I loved the way he died.
I thought that, like I said, if
I thought it was noble.
a true
Yeah.
Jedi would go out that way, you know, and I did buy it in that. Like I said, that was like one thing that I took about like Luke's arc. I had no complaints on that role he took. I don't even have complaints with Rey. I don't. I think Rey, Kylo, and Luke were very good in the sequel trilogy.
They could have played up Rey a little bit more. We didn't get to the training till late, like a decent amount of training.
Yeah,
we didn't really get
yeah,
Luke into the middle. You know, I mean, there's things I can nitpick and do stuff. I can do that with Luke as well. So,
I mean, if you think we have 3 movies to flesh out a character, but you know, when 2 of the movies take place in an 18-hour period, it's like
there's no flesh.
You really pigeonholed yourself. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Right, because I mean,
I would have rather had Luke die physically fighting Kylo Ren at that duel.
Well, I mean, technically he did, if you think about it.
Yeah.
At the end of the duel.
Yeah, but see, that pissed off Kylo even more. That
Kylo can't go killing everybody. He killed his dad already.
Yeah.
You don't get the credit for all that. Vader didn't even kill that many cool people.
You get one.
Vader only killed Obi-Wan. He didn't get to kill anybody else.
Rick Jones checking in. J.J. Abrams is a terrible person. I dislike him.
Just make it personal.
That is personal. My God. Wow.
What you know? What
that mofo stole my parking spot in L.A. I can't stand.
But
him.
you know what really gets me? I'm gonna say it's about real life and going into the real thing. Like, you know, J.J. Abrams and all Johnson, all these people. They gave us this thing nobody liked, and then they just disappear. Like there's no interviews of coming out and doing fan shows and like really kind of like standing by your product. It was like here and then boom, and then we're all going like
help.
Yeah, help.
So Stu John says something I was going to point out a second ago, and that is Luke was on Dagobah for only a couple of weeks, as a reminder, right? Yes, Rey was only there for 18 hours, though, to get her training. So it's like...
We've even gone as far as to try to explain that as Dagobah and Octo are force planets that bend time the way Mortis does.
Right.
Right, because Mortis, they were in there for quite a while, and it was like seconds when they came out. We've tried to bend the laws of Star Wars for that, but they haven't convinced us of that yet. They haven't proven that out, I don't think.
Maybe that's in Secrets of the Jedi. Maybe that's in the pop. Maybe that's in that pop-up book.
I'm getting Saturday. I'll tell you
exactly. But also, like, we don't know how far the travel was to Bespin. That Luke. We say a couple of weeks. It could have been a lot longer.
Nothing is long. We went from across the universe in 18 hours.
Yes.
Canto Bight and Crate are across the galaxy, dude.
Yeah. Look at the map.
We mapped it. It was stupid. It's like you could have got. Come on.
Yeah, Mando.
And they weren't even flying the Falcon.
Yeah.
Right, because the Hoth is pretty close. I mean, the Hoth.
Yeah.
Bespin was pretty close to Hoth.
Yeah.
Though
but they had to get there. They had to get there with that light speed. Exactly.
Yeah. This question hurts me. Adam,
neither. Can I get?
Would you rather, if you had to pick, Abrams to do another movie or Ryan Reynolds to do one?
I like Ryan Reynolds.
Well,
at
this point, we have seen what Abrams can do with 2 movies in the Star Wars universe. Ooh, balloons! Why not? I would like. I'd rather see what Ryan could do.
You think so?
If he took it seriously, right? I don't want this. I don't want because he even said that he's interested in running it, not acting in it, right?
In R-rated.
An R, right? I know. But still, I would rather give him a chance than another hollow movie, right? Because what we had, The Force Awakens, which was a flashy, glorified recreation of A New Hope, and then we had The Rise of Skywalker, which was not. So.
Yeah. You know what? I think
it's
you guys
because it's like Abrams, Reynolds, Lucas, go. And you know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Just the Mary screw kill.
Yeah.
I think you guys convinced me. If that was a
I'm marrying Lucas, I'm screwing Reynolds, and I'm I mean that's a no-brainer.
Chris already has it answered.
Next. Yeah.
He's a Green Lantern and Deadpool. Come on.
Will of the Force asking his big question: would we rather fight 50 Jawas or one Elf-size Gong Droid?
Dude,
I tell you what, I'll take the Gong Droid because we saw Mandalorian can fight just about anybody.
Yeah.
We saw what happened when
what's
Mandalorian got
funnier?
confronted with Jawas.
It's about the
50
Suka.
Jawas, the way 50 Jawas fight is funny as hell. I would be laughing because how they do with the trash and how they came over with when Mando popped up on that sandcrawler. They're like, ha! Just,
Yeah.
1,000 Jawas.
Suka,
Or
I would
one
just get him
Wampa.
a big egg. Suka, you know.
Suka.
It's a good question, Will the Force. Thanks for checking in, man. That's
awesome.
I like
Nice.
that.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
The problem with Abrams doing it all is he's such a gimmick director. I don't mean that in bad, but you have to
You're
have
right.
the
No.
Beastie Boy. You have to have the Beastie Boys in there.
Yeah.
It has to
Yeah.
fit into my Cloverfield universe.
Yeah.
It has to. I have to have my friends act in it.
Yeah.
That's what's hard. Is I mean, as a gimmick director, of
You're
had
right,
to
man.
do this.
You guys
Shit.
convinced me because at first I'm sitting there going like, all right, dude, I think he's got the eye for sci-fi. Like I think he
Yeah.
does have a very
For-
good visual.
for
But
his stuff,
yeah,
not
exactly.
to take over
And so
anything else.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen what a Ryan Reynolds was, so I'm curious to give him that slate, that blank slate. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Now, what about Ryan Johnson and Ryan Reynolds?
Reynolds can take it over either one of those two right now because I don't want the noise
Well,
anymore. Right?
okay. What about
The fandom will break for Reynolds, but we have no backup data for that. Right? We have backup data for Abrams and Johnson that'll throw the fandom into a tizzy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What if you took that out of the equation, though? Like, what if you took the
then
the
I'd go back to
fandom-
J.J. Abrams, dude. If I had none of that tizzy,
You would?
I mean, if there none of that had happened,
No.
I mean,
Like,
if the tizzy
no.
doesn't happen,
Yeah, like if you had like say Chris, we made this movie for you. You have a choice of two directors, not what the fandom would say
Which
because of their
movie?
past. Yeah.
what am I
Like,
doing? Am I doing a redo of 9? I do Johnson so he could finish his vision.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah,
could do the
that's
whole
very,
trilogy,
very
I'd let JJ have the entire trilogy, not the first and the third. But really, I'd just rather have Reynolds start all over with something different.
I've seen all three of his Star Trek movies, man. They don't hold up.
Yeah.
The third one doesn't. The first two do. I think the third one lost it. I really do like the one with Khan that he swore wasn't Khan and it was Khan.
Yeah.
No.
But I'm with you, dude. I just because I'm not a Star Wars fan or Star Trek fan,
See,
right?
now,
I'm not a Trek.
I clipped it.
Thank you.
So Hellrunner Base here. Hellrunner Base is right because Glass Onion and what was the Knives Out are great and
They
they're
are
great.
Ryan Johnson films. So
For what they were
You're right.
in that whodunit Clue, it's good.
yeah, they were great.
So a whodunit Star Wars, I wouldn't mind. Who killed so and so? That's kind of what.
It was kind of like act like
Who
wanted
done
to
it
be,
with
right?
Pele Moto as though.
Act like who
Lock them all up in the palace, right? And you have Boba and Pele and all these folks and trying to figure out who done it. Yeah, that'd be all right.
Let's see here. Will of Force, is there a way we can have them collaborate on 9? Like maybe share a plan together. Maybe I'll stick with the Jawas. Yeah. Here that if we got word that JJ was gonna do this trilogy and not leave and let someone else do it, I probably would have a better outcome. I don't know. Maybe not a well thought out one, or maybe something that fell off at the end.
Yeah, because here's the thing, right? J.J. Abrams, he was Lost, right? I mean, he was in charge of Lost, right? Which completely fell apart at the end. The Star Trek trilogy, here I go again. The last one was awful, right?
The last one was pretty bad.
You get what was the other thing? Like Cloverfield. It was Super 8. Looked like it was going to be a great movie, like another Goonies, and it was garbage by the end of it. It's just, I mean, the guy's got this great eye for visuals, and he's got a great eye for lens flare. He does not have a great story. He's not a great storyteller, though.
No,
and I mean
Cloverfield
that's
is
coming
his
from a
whole
guy who's never done it.
Is what's that?
Cloverfield
whole
is
universe.
his whole universe
Yeah,
that
he
all
didn't
this
do it
sits
well.
in. Yeah, that's the weird part, Scott, is like there's other movies that he does. You're supposed to fit into the whole Cloverfield, and then he turned it into a multiverse. So you're right, because his story, right? It's like he has it there, and then he loses it. Oh well, this is a multiverse. I forgot to tell you guys that, right? It's like somebody who
my bad.
going It's like somebody who's going at it. Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that. And then like
Yeah.
Scott keeps saying it's at the end. So.
Yeah. JJ is the Michael Bay of sci-fi.
But lens
There's-
flare instead of explosions.
Yeah.
There's a very popular comic book artist that worked for both DC and Marvel who does the same thing. He writes himself into these corners, and you think it's a great story, and by the end of it, he's laid everything out to where you've got it figured out, and then there's like a last ditch effort to change it up, and it never makes sense. And it's like it's
or it's not as impactful as the
they try to make a
journey.
twist that doesn't make sense, right? That nothing, no breadcrumb would have taken you there. I hate movies like that. I hate shows like that. I'm like, I had like Knives Out and all those. If you have all these clues leading to, and they all usually confuse you, but if it's all of a sudden it's somebody who had no breadcrumbs, like, well, how would I have known that?
I know.
Right?
I know.
And I've seen movies like that, and it pisses us. Like Jess and I watch those.
Been the guy in the closet the whole time.
How did they? Who would have known that?
I'm still waiting for Disney to throw on a Disney Plus special where Rey wakes up in Batuu and says, "Oh my God, I just had the craziest dream." And then they,
look, dude, you don't know how many
they
times
go-
that I have struggled with the just make 7, 8, and 9 legends. They never, and so it's a clean slate. Why not? I mean, that's there. They could do whatever they want. Everybody would be happy, and then you could just go Mandoverse as the new sequel.
Ray wakes up next to that door next to the cantina that they have up there.
I had a horrible dream.
Yeah. Just,
somehow Palpatine returned. I couldn't explain it.
Newhart style.
Finn.
That's what it is.
Finn. She's looking for Finn.
And, you know, the whole episode 7 is redone again with her walking through the marketplace, and Chewie is her friend with the Falcon there, and then they take off, and we finally get Hondo because he's there and he runs it.
Goodbye, my friends.
Yeah, and they take
until
off
we meet again.
But so sad for Chris is they don't even hire anybody; they still use the animatronic.
Yeah,
just,
on
the spot up there. Yeah.
I'm good with that. Hellrunner, no, and yes. And then Adam, keep dreaming Disney.
And no.
I know they won't. That.
They're not
Well,
that would be admitting fault.
Yeah. No, you
well,
don't
no.
want. You don't.
That's why I said you wake up in Batuu because you got to resell your gimmick at the park.
So
that's why.
And change your time frame.
Yeah. Oh
exactly.
my, I was wrong.
Right.
It was Earth all along.
I'm so pissed.
I would.
We woke up on Earth.
I think that if you, I might leave the franchise if this happened. If Michael Bay did a Star Wars,
depends on the flick, dude.
No, I'd leave. I don't think that guy can do anything right.
I'm not anti Michael Bay.
We'd have Will Smith in it. It would be Will Smith would be in it. There would be
a Wayne's brother.
Orange. Everything would be orange because that's his color of choice. J.J. Abrams is a blue guy, right? So he's very cool colored. Michael Bay. Everything would be orange. It would all be set on Tatooine or Jakku, one of the both maybe. And then we'd take a flight over to Scarif so we could get some beach scenes. And
Michael Bay would do it, and it had nothing to do with Star Wars.
Transforming X-wing.
Well, I was going to say you get a very technical walk of an at of the legs moving, like the legs moving and everything.
Every
gears.
Every gear.
Okay, I like that. That's cool.
Like a whole 3-minute shot of just 2 legs walking in the
That
snow.
is what he does really well. Because I remember when the TVs were getting high def, right? And we started, it was right when Transformers and everything was going crazy. We started getting the thin flat screens. Everything was in, whatever, 1080. Yeah. And I walked into Best Buy and saw what was it, Rise and the Fall? Which one has Devastator?
Second one, whatever that.
Second one with the balls, right?
Yeah,
so I go in there during the pyramid scene, and I'm in Best Buy. I'm like, Jesus Christ! I mean, you could see every single thing. I never forget that. I'll never not remember that. It's he does so much detail.
I put Adam S's comment back up. Yes, and
Megan
she has to
Fox,
be in a
Megan
Hudslayer
Fox.
costume.
Yeah,
I'll watch a whole Disney Plus show on that. Just her walking around Boba's palace. That's fine.
Hell yeah. And Rhino, so many explosions and collateral.
Sorry, Chris. That's what it is.
It's Fenix Palace, bro.
Okay. Well.
Oh, Matt, Dr. Bradley, Megan Fox as Mara Jade. She'd look hot at least. Yeah, she wouldn't look like an 80s rocker, like, redhead rocker.
Yeah.
Hellrunner bass, get Linkin Park to do the soundtrack.
Yeah, okay. All right. We've really ruined any chance of
Wow.
But it's the new Linkin Park.
New Linkin Park.
And I might have already seen an X-Wing flying away to a Linkin Park song. Just
You know you have to have Palpatine at the end look at the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrible. Okay, we're out.
I'm
It's all done.
yeah. I'm so depressed now.
See, this started off positive. Moocher was finally relatively okay in a little bit with the sequel
Now I'm
trilogy.
ready to go walk
and
outside
we went
and keep walking.
And there's like a fire 2 miles from his house right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go walk right into the fire, guys. I hate all this.
Dude, that thing was stinking over here yesterday.
You know,
It was smelling
that
burnt
wasn't
rubber.
the fire.
No.
yeah.
Oh, didn't that smell like burnt rubber? Or is that not that? Or is that my neighbor?
No, I was
That's
just
your
kidding.
neighbor, yeah.
Oh,
that's your
okay.
neighbor.
I can see
Yeah.
the smoke and I smell burnt rubber. I'm like, what the fuck? It's burning in
You only
big there.
saw the smoke. The burnt rubber was that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my
Go swim in the ocean and then never come. I'm gonna go do the Dexter thing and just go off on a sailboat, end up in Oregon or Washington cutting wood.
And then Alaska somehow. Wasn't it Alaska?
then-
I forget where it is.
I thought it was Washington or Oregon when
And then Canada or whatever. It was
Yeah.
ended up in as
I
a
forget.
lumberjacks.
Shit,
yeah,
I didn't watch the hell out of that one though, but it's coming up next month.
Yeah.
And then you finally hit the ice wall and the flat earth, and you're just saying, damn it, Ernie. Gosh, dang it.
I'll be damned.
Don't get me
Yeah.
started, Ernie.
Yeah, and
You
then
need a
then you'd have to turn around and come back and knock on the door like, we need to do a podcast.
yeah. I seen it. James Cameron Star Wars. I
No,
don't
he
know
could stay with
anymore.
his blue people. I'm perfectly happy with that.
You'd have if it was because he's not a bad storyteller, dude, and he's good visually. I mean, you'd have to give him control of an entire time frame and let him build that part of the universe.
Yes.
he builds his Avatar stuff pretty good. When I look at Avatar, and was it Pantora?
Yeah,
right?
Pandora.
Pandora.
Pantera.
We have a Pantora.
Oh,
There's
right.
two different.
Pantera.
One is
Where
one is
George Lucas is from. Yes.
we have a Pantora. They have a Pandera, right? Or Pandora,
Yeah.
whatever. It is.
Pandora.
They're both mixed.
Panera.
You could put his world in it.
Pandera.
If you take out the army, you could put him in the universe.
You could
Easily.
yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm okay with like James Cameron would have been on my short like a top
The
10 if
living
I had a
tree
top
is
10.
like the Force.
Kinda. There's things in there
There's
that
a
were
planet
all
that was.
Son of a bitch. Now I'm gonna be thinking that this is somewhere in the Star Wars galaxy, and you're gonna have.
But
I'm gonna have to watch the second Avatar movie now. Damn it!
I
Damn it.
know.
I haven't watched it either.
It's
I need
the
to watch
way
it
that
too. I owe it to sci-fi to watch
people
it.
depict the Force.
I know.
Did you watch it,
Yeah.
Joe?
It's
Good?
good. I like it.
I feel like it might be. Yeah, I got
All
you.
right. Joey says it's good.
I did not enjoy the first one. I'm like, why are we watching Fern Gully meets
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet on?
Yeah.
on
You know,
a
it's not that I
water
didn't
world with blue
enjoy the
people?
first.
This is-
It's not that I didn't enjoy the first one. It was just kind of predictable. It was kind of like
It was a cool story. My
Very.
thing with
Yeah.
those is it's just going to take too long. This
Yeah,
Avatar story is taking
was-
too
That's
long.
the
Yeah, the
problem
way
with
they
Avatar
drew
is
out
they need
the
to drag.
sequels
yeah,
was
yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, the movies they dragged on a little bit too long. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the first one, the second one. I liked them about evenly. One wasn't better than the other.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'd ever. I don't know if we're going to get to that point where we get big name directors or big name stars in Star Wars. And again, we've always kind of been against that, like have other people's visions. But again, who heard of Rian Johnson before? Who heard of most of the people who directed Mandalorian stuff besides
Who heard of George Lucas?
Exactly. Even George Lucas himself says, I didn't want to cast, big names. We need some anchors, but we didn't want to distract from the actual storytelling, right? So if, here's the thing, if Disney keeps putting out, if nothing works, I'm not saying that I think it's working now, but in the past, I think they probably had their backs to the wall saying, look, what we're doing is not working. So maybe we have to go the Marvel universe route. Like maybe we have to go and get this huge star-studded cast with, the more Michael Bay explosions just to draw money
the
back.
actors aren't what bring us into those shows. I don't get into those shows because of who's in them. RDJ isn't.
We don't.
I don't
do
go see
characters.
RDJ. I don't see Robert Downey Jr. in any other movie besides.
But
I don't
they
see Chris
seem
Evans
to
in jack shit.
right.
know?
But Disney seems to like
think these guys are it.
Yeah, they seem to put those are the taglines, right?
And
we're
those
like, Iron
guys
Man's
are
in
those
it.
characters. I mean, look at them. Like, I don't want to put him in anything else. If I see Hemsworth anywhere, it's just Thor.
Yeah.
If I see Evans anywhere, it's just Cap.
It's just not working. Yeah. No, I get it.
it.
Rob Zombie Star Wars. No, I mean, we look. there was already the the SA in Andor. If you put Rob Zombie in it, it's all it's
You're
going
gonna
to
see
be.
it.
You're gonna not just see it. You're gonna Rob Zombie.
It's going to be a Star Wars snuff film, essentially.
Shit.
And you know his wife's gonna be in it.
Oh yeah, forget it.
See,
man.
another kind of gimmick thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
You know, you said that
Right.
earlier, Ernie, and it worried me because my favorite director right now, James Gunn, right? Like through and through right now. I'm all about James Gunn. But when you said gimmick, I'm like, shit, he does all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I'm sitting here
Yeah.
pumped for Superman in a couple weeks, and I'm like,
I am
he's
too.
kind of a gimmicky director because he does do the thing with the music, but he does good music, like stuff you
Yeah.
don't always hear, right?
Yeah.
It's not,
Gen X off
Yeah.
kilter Gen X stuff.
yeah,
it's
he's
it's
B-sides
good.
all the time,
Yeah.
and underground
Yes.
stuff. It's neat.
Yeah.
But see, you're right on some of that. It is okay, and we know it. But when you
Yeah.
keep on, because like
Right.
JJ, his is TV shows and making this universe and like that, and his is he's putting it out there in front of you. We know he's a gimmick one, like you're saying, with the music and
Yeah.
having his lady in it and like that. But
His buddies.
yeah,
Oh, I
correct.
forgot his girl's in it too. Shit,
His girl has to be in everything. Yeah,
I did forget that.
I think that's how
Who's
he got
girl?
His Guns.
Guns girls in it.
Hardcore's his wife. Hardcore's his wife from Peacemaker, the blonde.
What
And she's
the
in his other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is his brother too, right? No, like
Yes.
His
Yeah.
best friends are all in them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
it's
His
Well-
brother. So see, you got to remember those things. But
yeah, you do. I got to because he is gimmicky, but all of his story it works.
Yeah,
So-
Ron Howard.
We had that in Solo, so I mean he
Yeah,
can
but
come
I-
back. I'm cool.
and loved it.
I
Howard
think
would
he
be
needs a
top of the list.
Yeah, I think Ron Howard needs a project from scratch.
The Howards. Put
Ooh,
Ron and
yes,
Bryce
Bryce
together.
Dallas Howard
Oh,
and
that'd be
Ron Howard,
nice.
dude.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
That'd be
then
cool.
we're winning,
Yeah.
right?
No, I think Ron Howard would be a great fit. Like I said, with someone mentioned Gareth Edwards, I think he, like I said, if he had Tony Gilroy and Dave Filoni as a team, I think that's a win. That's
Totally.
a win-win.
Totally.
yeah.
And of course, the real one is Spielberg, but he'll never do it, right? Just to have one Star Wars
Yeah.
Spielberg film
Now-
would be cool.
maybe. Yeah.
Wasn't the rumor back in Revenge of the Sith time that he had actually directed one scene in Revenge of the Sith, but they never revealed what scene it was that he
Oh.
directed?
Yeah. He was an
And I-
uncredited second
Yes.
unit kind of deal
Yeah.
I
where he
didn't know that.
stepped in for a day. Yeah.
I believe it was part. My assumption is God, these guys in the chat. I believe it was the Palpatine Yoda duel. I think that he might have directed, but I think that's what I had heard, but no confirmation on that.
Well, that's actually a great fight, so that works.
Vin Diesel, Star Wars. May the family be
Yes.
with you.
Out.
We've got
Family.
Adam
Yeah.
S. Light speed in 60 seconds. Yeah, there we
Dude.
go.
yes, Vin Diesel Star Wars. I live my life 12 parsecs at a time. Yeah,
Two
Oh,
Force, Two
God.
Furious.
that would be
Yeah.
great.
No, we're real now, guys. You're
Oh,
being
Adam,
ridiculous.
That- that's what I call season 7, the middle with the sisters, is the Force and the Fear and the
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the Force and the
But-
Furious, because that's
Yeah.
what those two girls are. Those
Oh,
are
Adam-
Dr. Bentley. Yeah.
Dr.
Adam,
Bentley,
Adam's the Two Force, Two Furious. There's already
Yeah.
a movie called that.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
oh
okay.
shit.
yeah, check it out.
Yeah. So
That's
Brentley
on
singing,
a different type of channel.
That's
Yeah.
that's on the
Spielberg
OF.
directing the opening scene, battle scene. I could
I could buy
dig it.
that.
I can dig
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I
Oh,
do
really?
believe that was a thing. So
Oh, with the war drums, that was him.
boom.
I thought the rumor was
Yeah.
both of them.
You
though.
know-
Him and Lucas showed up on set, and they kind of
God damn it, that's a
Took
cool
it over.
rumor.
wasn't
We
it?
should find out.
It's a cool rumor, but I don't.
we don't know
believe
what
that.
scene,
I mean,
but I know that there was a situation where he kind of stepped in and he was uncredited. It was just kind of for
Yeah.
help. It-
Is
He
this
was
kind of
there for a
like when
day,
George
right?
walked in on Solo and said
Yeah.
no,
Han
no.
Han wouldn't hang up the cape?
Oh
Right,
no.
Han would have just said
Yeah.
that. No, this was an actual directed scene from the movie, and it was. And I don't think it would have been the opening scene because that is so heavily CGI. There's not a whole hell of a lot
Well,
of
you still
acting
direct
going
it.
on.
You still
You
direct.
still
those,
direct,
yeah.
yes, you do still direct those, but you direct it more from the standpoint of just camera movement, camera angles, because I believe the acting that he could have brought out of the actors would have been better than still what we
I
got
don't
out
know.
of.
Yeah, I don't know. This is
Yeah,
what
I think
fun
that
again.
the direction from George would be like, hey, Keep it wooden. Don't fuck around and make this nice. If they can tell that it's you and not me, this is going to be a problem.
And it even gives it more credence that he would direct a non-acting sequence because George Lucas has all the control of the
That's true. That's true. What am I thinking?
I don't know, man.
You can have this.
I want to do something.
You're not saying anything, George. Exactly.
I got 3 minutes of flight. What do you want?
Where do you want the camera?
Yeah,
just make sure whatever you do, you have the kitchen sink flying out of the one ship.
That's all you got to do.
That's it.
Oh, wait. Yeah,
There
Bradley
we go.
saying, "Oh shit!" Just looked it up, and it's Order 66 scene, and order of events. Okay. Oh,
so that with the piece we keep reliving in every single thing ever.
One of the best scenes in.
You guys over here shitting on him.
Who?
No,
On Steven? No, I love Steven Spielberg.
Again, no dialogue. Really,
There is no
it was
dialogue.
just Alien Secure dying, Plo Koon dying.
Well, no, I mean,
Still
Keanu Mooney
emotional.
says, "Come on."
Oh yeah,
So there you
okay,
go.
all right. I mean, I don't know.
Oh
how
yeah, and then Ava Secura fucking
It was,
So-
you know,
going too early.
Worst death in Star Wars.
and Williams' score is what really makes that scene. To be
Oh,
honest,
that scene is very.
right? Because you can just
powerful.
hear that and you know what's going on. And
Well, that's
you
what
know
I'm
the
going
feeling.
after. As long as the score matches, then that's it. I
That's
mean,
really it. That's
you
the
know,
best
it's
version.
everything. If it was a chase and an action scene, then we got to
Yeah.
hear some type of dun, 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 any type of just to
Well,
it.
Revenge of the Sith has some of the best Star Wars in general.
Yeah.
Like it just like there's just such an emotional scene, right? And that's why it's like, you know, basically to bring this full circle, it's like I think we always saw the Star Wars as the Anakin Skywalker saga, right? And then like when this stuff comes out, it's
Look
like
at this
okay,
motherfucker bringing everything full circle. Wow.
it
It's
goes
like he
back to
planned
like
it.
it goes back to like, oh well, Anakin and the family was just a blip in the grand. I mean, essentially it is. I get it.
Yeah.
But
Look at that segue. I am so impressed right now. My God.
well, you just ruined it by bringing it up. It could have just been no I'm kidding.
Smooth.
Yeah. So no score.
All right. So
no.
the last director, I want George back for one episode of something. I know I've talked about it before, but just sneak in one time.
I think
One
it would be.
time.
I think it would be so
And don't tell
fun
us.
to do. Yeah. Like I agree, Chris. I think because you know what. I mean, obviously, we have nothing recent. We have nothing recent to go by,
Just
and to
one
know,
shot.
like I said, all of like Amando, right? He directed the middle episode, and so we can sit there and go, okay, now, all right, let's see. I
What
think
did
I
he do
want that. Yeah.
directionally different, or right, or help, or even the last movie with Filoni? If you get a credit with Filoni, George and Dave together, like, and you didn't know, like, all of a sudden they kept it secret. At the end, you see written by George and Dave. I'd lose my shit.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
So one of the best comics of all time in the G.I. Joe canon is G.I. Joe number 21. It's called The Silent Interlude. Can we do that where no character speaks the whole time and just do a bunch of action scenes? I'm in, George Lucas. Let's go.
Is that the Snake Eyes
Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Yes.
reveal?
Yeah.
But I kind of want to see what 40 years did. 50
Yeah.
years did kind of deal. I want to
See if it gives us the vibe, dude.
Yeah, I
want
wanna
to be like,
see.
man, this really feels like George, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
it hits us on the side, and we're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Did we watch Red Tails? Because
26.
didn't he
I
direct
didn't.
Red Tails?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but I
I
didn't
haven't
watch
watched it.
It's
You
not
should
set.
watch Red Tails.
It's not set in the universe, so I don't care.
No.
Yeah, we don't know. Howard the Duck was amazing. The dialogue was awesome. The dialogue wasn't the problem in Howard the Duck, okay?
I love Howard
Look.
the Duck.
I know.
I still
We're
watch
talking-
Howard the Duck. I'm like, where's this going?
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it in Star Wars. Let's stop picking on his other shit.
Yeah.
Let's pick on Star Wars.
Let's just
Yeah,
pick on Star Wars
I
instead.
I am curious to see like
I would love it.
the distance and what he would bring today, and just for one episode.
Just for fun, dude. We would
has to
think
be
he's got to
important,
be
right?
sitting there. He's older. I know he's got a little itch sometimes to do something.
Oh man,
Although
you
I'm
guys
sure
seen
he's
that
more now.
ILM Part 2, that whole docuseries where it's current George Lucas, and I'm like, oh my god, dude is old. Like he aged
Yeah, he did.
really. I mean, I'm sitting there going like, oh man.
Bro, they all did all of a sudden.
I know it just kind of hit me. I was like,
Ford looks rough.
yeah.
Aw, poor Harry
It's-
Ford.
It's getting there, dude. We're
Yeah, it
we're
is.
losing
Yeah,
the most.
If
Yeah.
George Rex again, all I know is it's got to rhyme. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get out of here. That was fun. Again, we'll dive into these children books more than we'll do the novels because they're bringing it. Well, this one brought it.
They brought it 4 years ago.
Yeah, I know. So I'm curious to see what we would take out of the Jedi. Could it be the Chosen One prophecy stuff? Could it be
maybe
their way that they, like the greater good stuff where, because again, the more we kind of dive into a lot of the stuff about Jedi, the Jedi are not, it's like they're worse for the galaxy than they are the Sith.
So was this book was the Secrets of the Jedi book written before or after the Acolyte? That's what I want to know. So because that will change a lot of perspective. That one was, but what about
the Jedi? Yeah, I don't know. I have to.
And what's the new one that's coming out? Was this a visual dictionary? The one that didn't have Vader on the
front?
Acolyte,
the Acolyte visual dictionary.
That's out.
Coming out. Yeah,
there was something different. There's another book though, a visual dictionary besides the Acolyte.
Oh yeah,
Scott, you have it?
Yeah, I have it.
Luke's on the front, but it's not
Luke's
Vader's
on the front,
helmet.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
No,
you're right.
No, it's Luke on the front, and Darth Maul, I believe, is on the back of it. So yeah.
It's a weird Photoshop.
Weird choices.
Bunch of
it's like an upgraded Star Wars visual dictionary that encompasses everything up to date. Is that what
what it is? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. I got it in the living room.
Yeah. So cool, man. Hey, Joey, thanks for finding that, man, and bringing it to our attention because,
great book.
Yeah.
On eBay, Amazon, Walmart.
So he's like, use the code
bootleg
Go
but you don't have to take my word for it.
Joey's coming in clutch this week again, man, with that book and then Whitney and the Robot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That I keep asking
that shit again.
I can't believe he remembers the top of his head every time.
Not yet, Santo, and I want to. I'm going to. I don't care what people think what he looks like. I'm going to see it. I'm going to see it. Especially that cartoon.
The animation or the movie?
Both. Well, I don't know which one's out, but I'm going to watch both.
The animation just came out. The Killer.
The animation was freaking looked amazing.
It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a great freaking movie, dude. It's rated R. It picks up on the Prey premises, and it goes from there. It was amazing. I've already seen it twice. So good.
Killers, that's what it is. Yeah.
What's it streaming on?
Killers of Killers. Hulu.
Hulu.
It was great.
I don't have the Hulus.
Anybody in Pitt want to put their Hulu password in so we can watch it, please?
Yeah, somebody.
Okay. Thanks,
really good.
Hell Runner.
Yeah. Yeah, Brantley's right. The animation in it has changed a lot. There's, it's a whole different style.
Yeah,
the story is good.
The trailer that I saw was like, I'm in.
It looks awesome.
Did you guys see Prey?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Great, Chris. You've got to see Prey. It's a great movie.
I was just thinking maybe I got to revisit that universe because I haven't kept up at all.
But just watch Prey and then watch Killer of Killers.
I would say stay away from AVP. I don't like those.
Okay, that's the last one I've seen was AVP.
No,
okay,
AVP 2.
Yeah, don't just try to wipe those from memory, and then go to the Prey, and then this anime Killer of Killers, and the new Predator that's coming out.
And then it will be the new movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So which one was Prey? Oh, Prey was the one that came out just a couple years ago.
Yes.
Right?
With the girl.
So good.
Right?
Yes.
And wasn't she mute or speaking a different language? Something in that movie was like it was in a different language.
No, she's native. She's Native American.
They're Native American.
It's set in 17 something.
So a lot of subtitles in that one.
Yes.
I like subtitles. I have to read.
I don't even think they're subtitles.
They switch it.
Yeah.
Okay, so because of who they shot it with and the whole tribe, they do have a whole version out there in their tribe language.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
I
is
heard
great.
about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you watch this one, it starts, but it switches over for you into English so you can understand it. You have to take it as if they are speaking their language.
It's kind of like us knowing that they're translating in Star Wars.
What was that
Right.
movie that did that? Last of the Mohicans did that, right? Like it started with, and then, or some movie started that where it's like they learned the language, and then as an audience, you learned it too. So now everything translated to English, but they were actually speaking their native.
That's Groot.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We're supposed to know what Groot says. Hal Runner thinks it's Comanche. I didn't want to disrespect anybody. I can't remember which one it is. No, it's a tribe.
I figured I guessed when I'd be racist for sure. I would just throw things out and it'd be horrible.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So there is a whole movie in their tribal language done. And it's us, we see it at first and then it switches over.
Neat.
So
Yeah,
it's a great movie. It's a great way to go reintroduce into the franchise and do it. And then Killer of Killers, you have to understand, follows the same premises.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's really good. You saw Arnold's Predator, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
And then did you see Predator 2 with Glover?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Exactly. And
Yep.
then go to Prey.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
Forget
And you're
AVPs.
good.
Don't
Oh,
like
okay.
said, don't
Yes.
even know.
I don't want to tell you why, but there's a reason why.
That's fine.
You'll just be good from there.
Cool.
Okay.
So go to Code Switching Predator to Killer of Killers. Got it.
Yes.
Yes.
Really
Guy,
All right.
Prey is on Hulu also, so that's lovely. I can't
Yeah.
watch either.
I know it.
Do a free trial.
Yeah, Adam. How does anyone that have Disney not have Hulu? I don't only have Disney Plus, man.
I
care
just
about
recently
ES
did the bundle. I
Yeah.
moved because I had them all separate. I'm like, what the hell am I
Yeah.
doing?
I don't watch ESPN. I mean, Hulu was like the commercials piss me off.
ESPN
so
app
I was
is
like,
worthless, dude. It plays nothing. It plays
Yeah.
no games. Useless.
I've got Disney Plus and I've got Max, so I want to get the Hulu in the middle so I can get the whole bundle.
I'm just gonna
And,
get. I just have Max, Disney Plus, and then in December or November I'll have Netflix back for a month. 2
Stranger
months.
Things.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
it. And I
Stranger
canceled
Things.
back that again. But I have to have Max because it has Big Bang Theory on
Yep.
all the time.
And Big Bang and Rick and
And-
Morty. Just roll.
yeah, and all the DC
see-
stuff too. So.
No, I
Right.
pay annually for Disney Plus, and I called them. I'm like, okay, how do I get the Hulu bundle? You need to go to Hulu and sign up through there, and tell them. And I'm like, what do you mean
What?
tell them? Who the hell talks to them?
yeah.
Yeah.
I did it on the Disney app. I signed up for the bundle.
bundle.
And then I
Yeah.
signed up for the bundle. And then next time I signed into Hulu, it said, "Oh, we see you're on the Disney bundle now. We're switching over your whatever your interface." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So it kind of
Yeah.
just knew I didn't have to do anything. That I
Yeah,
noticed.
Rick
I'm gonna
Jones.
check my bills.
Yeah, nothing is on Netflix. It's
Nothing.
so like that's why I'm not paying for this for nothing. Like, yeah.
If
I-
Logan didn't
You
watch
left
his
them
anime
off.
at
Monday Night
college, I
Raw's
would
on
know.
there.
You have
what-
Netflix.
Oh, I don't watch that. I don't watch modern wrestling.
I
Modern
have
wrestling is
Monday Night
poop.
Raw's on there.
No.
Well, it's okay. It can't touch the 80s, but it's okay.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah,
even
well,
the
nothing
90s
touched
and
80s.
2000s, like it can't touch it. But exactly.
Oh no, they're getting harder again.
Well,
Mhm.
well, guys, that was our Beyond the Pit talk for the last. So basically, what you did here is what we would have been talking about off the air anyway. So I do want to wrap it up. Yeah, thank you, Chris.
There you go.
Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
A really glimpse of Beyond the Pit. If you want to hear more, we've got some pre-recorded shows to go check that out. Somebody
We'll
in
do it
chat-
after Superman for sure, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Yes.
Somebody in chat asked about this week's live stream on the Hasbro stuff, the Pulse, right? But I just want to tell you that we dropped a toy chest on Monday. Go check that out. And if this week's Pulse has anything really worth kind of like reviewing, we will probably
buddy.
drop a toy chest on Monday. We'll do 2 Mondays in a row to bring you that news. So like and subscribe because that's the only way to get those notifications. I know I just did the outro, but Ernie, take
No,
us.
go ahead, Mooch. You got it. That was a great
I mean,
job.
for the rest of it, you got it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Bye.
All
Yeah.
all
I
the
basically
links are
just want you
below.
to say goodbye. I mean,
Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. It was a great show. Thank you to the pit and everything that Moocher said. Yeah.
what he
that's-
said.
Tosche Station Emporium.
That's
it.
Yeah. For now, I mean, we did switch over though. It has a new name. So yes.
It does, but the website is still ToshiStationEmporium.com.
.com.
for all your
There you
action
go.
figure-
So go check it out.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, I will say that the link is description for the YouTube channel. Tomorrow, I am dropping the build for the throne room. The
Well,
entire
don't drop that
build.
thing. It's heavy.
Well, the build. Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
gonna drop it. But it is going to go live. You can see the whole process of how I came up from concept all the way to fruition. That is dropping tomorrow on the channel. So I appreciate any support that you
You're
guys
welcome.
like. And thank you very much. Discord. We've got new members in there. We're constantly talking. It's awesome. It's link in the description. That one does work. You guys done? I think
On
we're
all
done.
social
getting-
medias, I let them
Yep.
know on my show to go check out the new channel that you had that coming. People were excited. Go check that out. Stay in touch with us. Go watch all those other episodes. Yes, the Toy Chest is a bi-weekly show, but if there is something, we'll check it out. You have to go watch Monday's show, and then maybe if there is something to talk about, it will drop again on Monday. That's all up to
Absolutely.
them, though. We hear rumors. We are on the way to Comic-Con, So this one should be interesting.
Comic-Con is shaping up to be a huge, not just for Star Wars, but like for a lot of other IPs and stuff. So
Didn't they say Marvel's not going?
Yes.
Marvel will not be there.
Oh, MCU won't be going.
Yeah.
That's all anybody really cares about.
Which, because I think everything they're
True
showing
story.
right now is fake. There's too much out there of leaked pictures from the set. Leak this. It's way too much.
Just release it already. Yeah, I mean
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing, and I don't think anybody's realizing that. Don't forget to go check out Superman with Chris. He is very excited about that.
Well,
I am ready. I am ready.
Okay.
Even though it's a gimmick director, it's all right.
It's a gimmick director.
Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. You're not. But let me tell you, that soundtrack in Peacemaker makes it. Every episode, there's always a song where I'm like, hell yeah.
I'm so excited for the next season.
It works, dude.
Me too.
Yeah.
What's concerning me is the 2002 CGI. So, but with that, we'll talk about that off air. Okay. All right. With that, Scott.
Well, just real quick, Stu John. Yes, I did return that spaceship because it was garbage. So,
good job.
Anyway, keep it nerdy, everybody.
Yes. Paul stream on Friday. Bye.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.